Yo, what's going on, guys? It's your boy Bogan Game back with another video, and today I'm going to be showing you guys the top 5 best strategies in Age of Empires. Let's get into it. Coming in at number 5 is the housing boom strategy. Okay, I'm sure most of you guys know what this strategy is, but for those people who don't, it's pretty much a British-only strategy where you spam out a bunch of houses, get a ton of people on wood so you can make those houses. But pretty much when British players make a house, it costs a tiny bit more wood. It's like 135 wood, but you get an extra villager when you make that house as well. So if you think about it, if you make a ton of houses, you're going to get a ton of villagers, and it's just going to excel your villager production. And I absolutely love this strategy. Whenever I play British, it's probably the first thing I do is I just get a ton of houses going up, get a ton of extra villagers, and it just makes your it makes your resources just go flying along. And that is why the housing boom gets a spot at number 5. Let's get on to the next one. Coming in at number 4 is the well-known water boom. Okay, so the water boom is pretty self-explanatory, but pretty much you just got to get a ton of docks out and spam those ships. You're going to need a bit of wood for this, because it's 100 wood per ship. But it's pretty easy to do, and I really recommend this. Like this, or the game I did this in was the same that I did the housing boom in. And if you do those two, the housing boom and water boom together, it'll send your eco flying. And I really enjoy doing it, but that's only if you're playing Brits, because you can only do a housing boom with Brits. But anyway, and a good map that I recommend if you want to try this strategy out yourself, I recommend playing on Seguinay. Sorry if I mispronounced that. I'm always really bad at pronouncing. But yeah, it's a really nice strategy, and also this will help you a ton because you don't need to switch over to plantations if you lock down the water here, because you can, the fish, after you've harvested this certain amount of food they go away obviously. But with the whales, they're permanent sources of gold, which is really, really nice. It stops you from spending 800 wood on a plantation and gets you about the same amount of gold per second. And yeah, it's a pretty good strategy. I definitely recommend it. And it's pretty easy as well. I think it's a great one for beginners. But anyways, let's get into the next strategy. Coming in at number 3 is the Fast Fortress strategy. Okay, so the Fast Fortress strategy is pretty much where you rush to get to the Fast Fortress stage. And this is a really good strategy because often you'll get to the Fast Fortress stage well before anyone else, and you can get those Fast Fortress upgrades out and those Fast Fortress units. And they'll absolutely dominate against normal colonial units. And a couple civs I love doing this on is Dutch, just because you can get the banks out and it's really, really easy to age up because of those banks. And I also like doing it as French because they get some really, really OP units, heavy cav, in Age 3. But yeah, as you can see here, I'm just getting a ton of banks up so I can get my age and units. Well, I mean, I already got the age, but units, and here you can just see me dominating with the skirms. Nice skirm and Ulan combo here. But yeah, it's really, really nice. And I really, really recommend this one for you guys. Let's get into the next one. Coming in at number 2 is the rush strategy. Alright, so the rush strategy is pretty self-explanatory as well. This is definitely one of my favorite strategies. I was struggling to decide whether this should be first or second, but it's coming second here. But I absolutely love this strategy just because you can absolutely overwhelm your opponents early on in the game by just spamming out as many units as you can. And this strategy works best with Russia just because you can spam out so many units really easily, but not that bad of a price. But as you can see here, I'm just absolutely marching into their base, taking out all their buildings and villages, and it is just absolutely amazing. I got a musketeer and and Shrelet combo, pretty common early on in the game for Russia. And oh my god, look at that. This is just over 10 minutes into the game and I already have 50 Musketeer for a second raid. And even if you don't fully take out your opponent, it's certainly going to weaken their economy and weaken their army as well as their base. So it puts you in a really good position to win. One thing though you got to be careful with when you're doing a rush strategy, keep your eco going, keep your settlers coming out. But look at this, man, we're absolutely dominating. Going for the wonders here. But yeah, and I recommend, like, when you're doing a strategy, make sure to coordinate with your teammates. Organize which troops you're going. But yeah, and this is what happened a little bit later in the game. It's like a minute or two later. But yeah, it's just a really good strategy, and it definitely deserves the spot in number 2. Let's get into the next one. Coming in at number 1 is the turtle strategy. Oh man, I absolutely love this strategy. I love doing it with Dutch especially, but pretty much this strategy is just where you turtle up, cram all your stuff in as tight as you can, and it's really good with Dutch, as I was saying before, because you can get your banks out and you have your eco still rolling. But yeah, this is really good because you get some towers out, and as you can see, 2 towers, town center, they ain't getting in. We've got some skirms in there too that will just micro around just to kill off any raids that they give us. But yeah, it's really nice, and you're pretty much just defending all your eco whilst you boom up, do a little bit of a fast fortress or semi-fast fortress as well, and you'll be absolutely set, and your eco will be soaring away, and then you can go and push your opponent. As you see here, this is a little bit later on in the game, but in the next stage, so is our opponent, but our eco is doing a heck of a lot better. We have an absolute ton of gold because we got all of our banks out, sending in more bank cards. Yeah, eco is absolutely rolling. I'm going to send the troops over now. Should be pretty good. I got a nice skirmisher, Haub, and Ruiter combo here. But yeah, it's really easy, I find, to manage my eco when I'm doing turtle. But yeah, okay, we're going forward here. I'm excited. But yeah, it's by far my favorite strategy. I mean, I love the rush strategy as well, but this one is just absolutely amazing. 2 civs that are really good at it is obviously Dutch, as I'm playing as here, but Portuguese are really good too because they get that extra town center out. So it'll just help you defend. You won't need as many towers, and you'll also get double militia if you do get heavily raided. But yeah, sending the army forward. Got a lot of siege in this army with the Haubs, but I have the eco to support the attack as well. But yeah, that's my favorite thing though. Once you do start attacking, you'll have the eco to defend it and keep on the roll. And it's absolutely funny sometimes, like what people have played when I use this strategy, they just get so mad because it's so OP. Because they can't they just like, I've faced this strategy too, and it feels like you just can't beat it because their base is just so heavily fortified. And oh my, look at this big army rolling. I'd be having a heart attack if I saw this. That is an absolute mad army. And there's nothing much you can do against it either. I mean, artillery would potentially, if you got enough, it would do some damage to this army, but still. Just rolling straight into this guy's base. He's playing as Portuguese. Oh, and here come the Musk. Oh my. This dude is doomed. That's all he's sending out. Man, look at that. And as soon as you need to switch over to farms, you can. It's pretty easy because you'll have enough wood. And I recommend, if you don't have very good hunts and stuff nearby, you can always put the tower out. And that is GG. Yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I definitely want to do more of videos just like this one. Top 5 best videos. But yeah, make sure to like and subscribe. And I'll see you guys in the next one.